Hey, Mike with Nerd Problems Gaming here, the channel where we go through the good and bad of everything nerdy to make sure you spend your time on the best of the best. In today's video, we do an unboxing of Mage Knight, the board game, the Ultimate Edition, so let's get into it. So Mage Knight is the combination of an RPG, board game, and deck building game in one ultimate package. On top of that, this Ultimate Edition comes with all 3 expansions so far of the game, so there's definitely going to be a lot to unpack in this unboxing video. But with that being said, let's dive into the game and see what's inside. Alright guys, so now that we've got the game out, let's jump in and see what's inside. So again, the Mage Knight Ultimate Edition is, like it says, the Ultimate Edition. So it comes with the Lost Legion expansion, the Krang expansion, and the Shades of Tesla expansion as well. Plus you get 5 new cards, and it comes with customized painted miniatures as well. So again, that's really cool. Now, Mage Knight is really an RPG combined with a deck building game. Now the game itself is pretty complex, so I don't even really want to attempt going through the rules right now in this unboxing, but just understand it combines a lot of RPG elements where you'll be taking on the role of various different Mage Knight characters and then exploring the land, and as you do so, you'll level up your character, learn new abilities, encounter enemies, learn spells, and more. So the game really consists of different phases, so you'll be moving around the board, you'll be exploring, you'll be attacking. There's different scenarios that you can play through in the game, a bunch of different variant rules, lots of solo modes, cooperative modes, competitive modes. Again, just kind of keeps going on and on. And so for a lot of people, Mage Knight is their favorite deck building game. And again, that's one of my favorite styles of game as well. And again, this is not just purely a deck building game. It also is an RPG, then also a board game as well. We'll be setting up and expanding the board as you explore. And so again, there's different types of map layouts that you'll have, and then it's kind of randomized as you go through and play. So I think based on that, there's definitely going to be a lot of replay value to the game, really a totally new experience as you play, even if you're going through some of the same scenarios for possibly a second time. Now again, like I said, this does not look like a simple game by any means, but it definitely looks cool nonetheless. So this board, to my understanding, kind of works to track your fame, but then also infamy. And so as you level up and gain fame from defeating monsters or interactions that you have with people and townspeople, this can alter basically your cost of purchasing items and cards throughout the game. Again, we've got a bunch of different map tiles and tokens, monsters and their levels and respective damage that you'll encounter. These ones are definitely falling out as I'm picking them up, but you'll also see there's different types of attacks that monsters can have. So they might do fire damage, they might do cold damage. There's like a cold fire damage. And so depending on what kind of damage they're doing to you and how they're attacking you, that can lead to extra damage or half damage, what spells are going to be effective against them, and more. So again, the battle system is pretty complex with this game. Almost seems like a video game in a sense. You've got all these different factors you need to plan and account for during battle if you hope to survive. Again, just more tokens as you level up, various icons you can use, track your stats and more. Again, more icons, another wheel here to go through. Again, more icons to punch out. It's always one of my favorite parts with board games here. Now let's dive into the miniatures and see what we got here. The one thing that's cool is, to my understanding, in this Ultimate Edition, you've got new artwork and designs here for the miniatures and the characters. And I believe these are the different characters that you can play as throughout the game. Each one is going to have their own unique play style, different base deck that they start with as well for the game. So again, just adding more replay value to the game as well. Some of these could be monsters, again I'm not sure. This Ultimate Edition comes with a bunch of extra characters that weren't in the base set of the game. Definitely excited that all these minis are painted. That's pretty cool. It's always something I've admired, but definitely not a skill set I have to paint minis myself. So it's nice to have that already done for you with this Ultimate Edition of the game. Certainly a high level of detail you can see here on the painting and style of these minis. Again, every character looks really cool, so I'm not sure how I'm going to really decide what character I want to play through my first time experience in the game. Looks like there's also different kingdoms and bases that you can track, so that's nice. Again, it's color coordinated, and it looks like it has a little tracker here that you can spin around to maybe track damage or whatnot on the kingdoms. Again, blue fortress here, really cool. We've got a green one as well. Alright, well, let's jump into what's inside the rest of the box here. Again, a lot to go through. One thing I see that's nice is it comes with extra bags for you. Put in contents. Always love to see that. Speaking of that, looks like we've got a bunch of different icons. I believe these work as kind of power gems in a sense, where as you roll die, you can track different elements, so like be it fire or ice or again whatever the case might be, and you'll be able to use these mana tokens to activate different spells and abilities. Again, like I said, it's a deck building game, so you have your different character decks that you start with. It's kind of breaking down those elements. And then there's also a bunch of different side characters that you can recruit to your team. So again, these can be used in battle, used to attack, block, use as influence, lots of different options as well. Again, looks like these are the starting decks and heroes that are available. Scouts, swordsmen, peasants. Here's another character card. It's just the explanation of setting up the areas, monsters you might encounter, thugs, swordsmen that you can have. Again, lots of options to choose from here in your starting deck. You have different types of attacks as well, so you've got kind of up close melee attacks, or you can also have ranged attacks. To my understanding, working like siege attacks or again range attacks, bow and arrows here. So certain types of fortresses and monsters are only going to be affected by ranged attacks or siege attacks, and then some, again, if you're up close, you can attack them with melee attacks. And then again, like I said, some attacks will inflict poison, which cause ongoing damage. Some of them might be fire-based or ice-based or that cold fire-based, kind of the combination of the two. Again, lots of things to consider with your attacks and how you attack and your strategy there. Different familiars you can have, items, crossbows, weapons. Super cool. I'm excited to dive in and learn what it's all about and see what this Mage Knight game has to offer. Now, again, as you're playing, you can get wounds, which are damage to your various heroes. Other spells and ability cards you're able to acquire as you play. Again, to my understanding, with cards, you can play them a bunch of different ways as well. So cards themselves will have a specific ability listed. They also might have an ability where if you use a certain mana type on them, you'll activate a secondary ability. Or you can play them horizontally, I guess, and how that works is then it can apply in various different ways. So it can kind of account for one of anything. So maybe it's one move, one attack, one block, various things like that. So again, even if you don't draw the perfect card for the scenario, you should have the ability to make things happen with whatever cards you do have Just might not be the ideal, optimal way to get through that scenario. So again, lots of cool, unique cards. Some also base cards it looks like here, like Swiftness and Determination, Marching, Rage. So again, cool artwork with the game for sure. Nice. Alright, we've got some other cards here. I believe how these work is it determines what order you take your turn in. If I remember correctly, kind of some helpful cards listing out the different bonuses that you have. Things that can happen as you encounter various challenges on the map here. So again, lots to consider on your turn and strategies to implement as you go through and play. Looks like they have other sides on the back here. More spells and abilities it kind of breaks down for your characters and how those work. Nice. Alright, another batch of cards here. Again, look like some of the basic cards you can acquire. Seeing some stamina and marches and tranquilities again. So these might be just your basic run-of-the-mill cards that people can start with beyond your starting deck for your specific character. Looks like you can heal your characters as well. There's different various ways to do that. So I definitely think I'll have to spend some time playing the game a bit before I have a full understanding on how it works, and what characters I like, what's maybe some of the best strategies to use. Looks like a huge universe you can dive into with Mage Knight, to say the least. Nice. It comes with a bunch of different dice as well. I believe each one of these represents various different elements. So you've got like water here, sunlight, daylight, the green, red, black. And depending on how these shake out each turn, these are extra mana that you can implement and use with your cards. Pretty cool. And then I believe these ones are more spell cards, as I see them coming. Yeah, and so these ones are pretty cool, where there's different spells that you can learn, and then there's kind of a normal mode that you can use a spell in on the top part of the card, or a more advanced version that you can use, but that's going to require more mana to be able to activate. So again, as your character plays, you'll be able to acquire and learn new spells to be able to use throughout your journey to again gain power, level up, defeat monsters, explore, and more. Looks like there's a bunch of artifacts that you can get as well that you'll be able to use. If I remember right, the top level here is kind of how you can use it as a one-time item, and then the bottom of it is how you can use it if you want to sacrifice the item. But just a bunch more wound cards, so it looks like we'll get plenty of damage along the way, that's for sure. Well again guys, that wraps up our unboxing of Mage Knight, the Ultimate Edition. Definitely a hefty game and a lot to get through, but if you'd like to learn more about the game or pick up a copy, there'll be a link in the description below. And definitely stay tuned for a future video when we go through a full review on the game once we've had some more time to play it. Well again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this unboxing video of Mage Knight, the Ultimate Edition. If you did, be sure to like this video. And if you'd like to learn more about the game or pick up a copy, there'll be links in the description below where you can do so. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to get the latest updates of new nerd videos we put out. And if you'd like to help support the channel, pick out content and more, become a patron of ours at nerdproblemsgaming.com/Patreon. And if you'd like to plug into our live streams and Let's Plays we do on the channel, you can follow us over on Twitch at nerdproblemsgaming.com/Twitch. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.